Welcome to our channel PsychoNomia. In today's video, we are going to reveal amazing facts about emotions you should know. So let's get started. Emotions are part of human biology. They are chemicals that help regulate our minds and bodies, assisting us to cope with the complexities of making decisions, interacting with people, and finding our way through life. We feel emotions to help us pay attention, focus our attention, and motivate us to action. While sometimes they are confusing, emotions are part of us, so we might as well learn to use them well. And these 7 essential facts about emotions is a good place to start. 7 amazing facts about emotions. 1. Emotions are electrochemical signals that flow through us in an unending cycle. They are released in our brains in response to our perceptions about the world. We feel them all the time, which makes me wonder why I learned how to divide one fraction. But anyway, emotions are released in our brains and flow all throughout our body, all the time. They also are produced in our bodies and go to our brains, which talks more about this idea of emotions as feedback loop carrying info to help us function. Emotions flow through our body all the time, regulating everything, including our thoughts. So shouldn't we be learning about feelings, at least on par with academic topics like the French-Indian War and how to calculate the angles of a triangle? 2. There are 8 basic emotions and countless variations and nuances of those. The 8 basic emotions are joy, sadness, fear, disgust, surprise, anticipation, anger, and trust. There are different models of which are the basic ones, but this comes from a scientist named Robert Plutchik, who also created a wheel of emotions to illustrate these 8 emotions in a compelling way. It shows visually the dynamism of emotions, like what happens to an emotion when it's left unchecked, and what you get when you combine two emotions, like anticipation and joy. It's pretty interesting stuff, especially when you know how to interpret the wheel. If you want to enhance your emotional literacy, which is an essential component of practicing EQ, this is a great place to start. 3. Emotions are neutral. That is to say, some emotions are not inherently good and others bad. It may seem this way, since, for example, joy seems to be a clear winner over sadness. I mean, who wants to be sad? But there are 2 problems with this way of thinking. The first problem is that joy and sadness have more in common than we think. Joy means I get something I care about. Sadness means I lose something I care about. So they are really 2 sides of the same need, and we couldn't have one without the other. And the second problem is that every emotion is simply a signal, delivering a message. Even difficult emotions like fear, anger, or sadness are serving an important function. So, what are the functions of emotions? 4. Emotions function to guide us to survive and thrive. Emotions focus our attention and motivate us toward a specific course of action. Each emotion has a purpose. Take anger, for example. Anger is a signal that our path is blocked. It focuses our attention on the threat and motivates a response of fighting or pushing through the obstacle. It can be used destructively, of course, but it also gives us the energy to find solutions to pressing problems. And what about another emotion, like joy? Joy focuses our attention on an opportunity and motivates us to do more of whatever we are doing. We feel joy when we experience meaning and connection, and the purpose of the emotion is to tell us that those are good things, which we should seek out. It has dozens of feelings, all variations of sadness, joy, fear, and anger, and then the message that each emotion is sending. For example, the other day, I was feeling overwhelmed by life. I was too busy and my head was swimming. I looked at the chart, and under sad, I found overwhelmed. What was the purpose of that feeling? To let you know you need to prioritize. 5 emotions are contagious. Feelings spread between people like a virus, even if we are not paying attention to emotions. Whether we are in a group or with one other person, we can catch both positive and negative emotions. The evolutionary basis of this is simple: humans have only survived and thrived in groups. We are social creatures. And because of that, we have a tendency to pick up on each other's emotional states. Think about it this way: if you see fear on someone's face, you are more likely to survive if you react quickly, if your own fear response is activated instantaneously. It could be the difference between getting eaten by that tiger your friend just saw or getting away. And it's not just fear. We are constantly sending and picking up emotional messages through a number of mechanisms, including voice inflection, facial expressions, posture, and specific behavioral patterns. It's an incredibly important form of communication that we all partake in, even if we don't realize it. It's so deeply wired that we unknowingly imitate the slowness of old people, which is one of my all-time favorite facts about emotions. 6 emotions are different than feelings and moods, but they are all interrelated, of course. What is the difference? Basically, time. And to what extent our cognitive thoughts are involved. 7 emotions are absorbed in the body in about 6 seconds. Each burst of emotion chemicals, from the time it's produced in the hypothalamus to the time it's completely broken down and absorbed, lasts about 6 seconds. If we are feeling something for longer than 6 seconds, we are, at some level, choosing to recreate and refuel those feelings. Sometimes that's good. If the tiger is still chasing you, those fear chemicals are helping save your life. Sometimes it's not. But recognizing what emotion we are feeling, evaluating its purpose relative to our circumstances, and deciding whether to recreate it is what emotional intelligence is all about. Hit the like button if you liked the video. If you want to know more fascinating secrets of human psychology, do subscribe our channel and don't forget to push the notification bell.